Okay, just realized that my microphone was on mute. Hello, hello, hello. If you've been watching me in sign language, although I don't know how to do that. Anyway, again, thank you so much for being with me. I was talking about the women's brunch and prophetic ornament exchange that we're having at Axe Church, and I wanted to invite anyone in the Waco area. If you don't have a home church, we would love to be a place where you call home. And today we're continuing our conversation about confidence and what confidence looks like. And if you don't know me, my name is Donna Woolham. I am a dream advocate for ambitious Christian women who are ready to get the dreams out of their heart and their head and bring them out into the world. And I am a reinvention coach. I work with women who have found themselves kind of stuck on the sidelines of life. They know that they need to do something different. They need to move forward in a different way, and I work with women like that to help make that happen for them. But our conversation all this month has been about confidence, so we're going to continue that conversation. And the subject today is what confidence looks like in the everyday. And we can really get this all twisted in our mind about what confidence looks like. We can think because someone's really bold and out there that they must have a lot of confidence. We've talked about that before. We can think that just because someone's able to stand up in front of a group of people that that's confidence. We can talk we've it just shows up in all kinds of ways that they walk into a room powerfully, so they must be really confident. And we've talked about how you can put on a mask and you can even put on a persona and decide that you're going to walk that way. And I think that I've mentioned before that I was in direct sales and party plan. And my husband said that he could always tell whenever I was in party mode because Party Donna would show up, and I could like just put on this cloak of the party girl, and she would just show up. And so I thought that that was just someone that I had to be. It took me a long time to realize that actually Party Donna was just part of my personality, that there was a place in me that normally on the everyday I didn't allow to show up because I was more serious. I had things to do and things to take care of. But I learned that allowing myself to be complete and whole in my personality made all the difference in the world for so many things. So that's not necessarily what confidence is. It's not necessarily how confidence shows up. Oops, hang on. So I wanted to, maybe in this conversation about what confidence is, say what confidence is not. And I mentioned a couple of those things. It's not how you show up in a room or how you walk into a room, because we can fake that. We're taught fake it till you make it. And so we can do that. We can fake it, right? But also, confidence is not having to have the last word in a conversation. Confidence is not bullying people into your opinion. Confidence is not being the smartest person in the room and making sure everyone knows it. So there's a lot of things that confidence is not. And I run across a lot of people that show up very powerfully in a conversation, and I always wonder what it is that they're trying to hide. I guess that's the coach in me, right? I guess that's my own personal life story, that I know that I have walked in masks and masquerades a lot, trying to hide my own brokenness and woundedness. So, I mean, I'm not saying those people necessarily are broken or wounded or have anything to hide, but that's just my first inclination. Instead of being angry or frustrated or whatever, it's like, okay, what are you trying to make sure I don't see the diversion in that? And we've talked about that confidence is that quiet trust. Confidence is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, trust in God, trust in the circumstances. It's trust. I have confidence, is what we say. It's why we can have such incredible confidence, because it says in Philippians chapter 1, of this thing we are confident, that he who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. We can have confidence and trust in God that what he says will happen. And oftentimes confidence can just show up as being a person in a room that you're filled with a lot of highly skilled and highly intellectual people, and you don't discount yourself because maybe you don't have the same education or the same level of expertise. You are confident in who you are and what you have. You don't feel like that you have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't feel like you have to be the most powerful person in the room. You don't have to feel like that you are the wittiest person in the room. And any of those can be true and be part of your personality and be part of how you naturally show up in the world. But confidence and that trust makes space for other people to be who they are as well. We create an environment, our confidence in who we are and what we bring to the world creates space for other people to be able to do that too. We don't feel like we're competing against anyone because we know that the real competition is only within ourselves. We don't feel like that we have to one up anyone because we're already at the top of our game, or we know that we are continually working to be at the top of our game. That doesn't mean either that we're always silent on a subject, but we don't always have to prove ourselves right or prove our point to be true. Confidence is that ability to understand that there are a lot of different points of view. And especially we live in this world where there is so much chaos around us. I mean, we've got political chaos, we've got religious chaos, we've got social chaos, we've got all of this stuff going around us. And we can really feel stressed if we allow that to be. But we can begin to hone in on, like I've talked about, our core values and the most important things there. We can begin to look at ourselves and compare ourselves to ourselves. And so that when we find ourselves in a room or a situation or a conversation that's awkward or uncomfortable, we can be able to confidently and purposefully state our position, state our point of view, but also with a heart that's open to say, this is my point of view, this is what I believe, this is where I am, but I am leaving space for you to also express that. And it doesn't mean that I'm 100% right or you're 100% right, or that I'm 100% right and you're 100% wrong. Confidence or trust gives us that stability in our day-to-day, everyday relationships. And so if you're feeling that something's out of whack, or you feel like you're always in conflict, then maybe it's an opportunity for you to look at your confidence level and say, instead of being like me who says, I wonder what they're trying to cover up or hide or what they're trying to divert attention from, ask yourself that same question. Whenever you are in a situation and you feel stressed and you feel like you have to really push hard to make you who you are and your point of view known, that you can say, hey, okay, what is it that is out of balance for me? What is it that I'm trying to divert attention from? Why is it that I'm fighting so hard in this area when I know it's not going to change anything? And that's the big test. We can find ourselves on social media having arguments in the comments, and it's not going to change anyone's opinion. I mean, if someone posts some big thing on there and they're stating, categorically that this is what they believe and this is the way it is, why stir the pot? It's not going to change anything. If you feel compelled that there needs to be a deeper conversation, how about messaging that person privately and say, hey, I really appreciate your opinion on this. Can we have a one-on-one conversation about that? Can we do something that's not here in the big middle of social media? Have the confidence within yourself that even if they talk you under the table, at least that you have done the right thing in the conversation and had a meaningful conversation instead of yelling to the skies and hoping that something is going to change, because it's not. Same thing if you're posting in social media and someone is posting something that's absolutely pot stirring and trouble stirring in your comments, you can hide those from the rest of the people and reach out to them and say, hey, I can tell you're really passionate about this. Let's have a conversation about it. Stand in your confidence, stand in your ability, stand in who you are. Don't get pushed off to one side or the other. And tomorrow we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about my definition of disappointment. And if you haven't heard that before, I think it might be interesting to you about what, and it's not the Merriam-Webster or the online dictionary definition of disappointment. It's something that the Holy Spirit showed me many, many years ago about the root of disappointment. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I just want to thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And if this has made sense to you, please comment back and let me know. Of course, always say hello in the comments. Please do a hashtag replay and let me know that you're watching this later. Please let me know that you, if you're new to this channel, new to this content, that you would say hello and let me know where you're from, like my pages, connect with me on a deeper level. And if you want to know more about me, well, there's my website information, donnawoolham.com. I'd love for you to come over there and learn more about me and what I'm doing. And if you are interested in learning more about how to gain confidence and really to walk in stability in your life, in every area of your life with bold confidence, then check out the link in the description of this and go over and check out the Bold Confidence Activator Workshop Masterclass that I recently did, and you can watch the recording of that. Thanks so much. I pray that as you start spiraling into your weekend, one of the last weekends before we really head into the big Christmas crush, that you will find yourself in peace. You know, the most important thing we can do is find ourselves in peace and to take hold of that peace that passes all understanding that we can find in Christ Jesus. You know, He Himself is our peace. He is the Prince of Peace. And if you find yourself too chaotic and too confused, then I encourage you to go spend some time in the presence of the Prince of Peace and let who He is wash over you, because He is that in you. He has been made all things pertaining to life and godliness to us, and Christ in us is the hope of glory. Thanks so much for being with me today. I pray peace on you. I pray comfort, and I pray that you would know that the Lord Himself loves you so much that you could not be loved any more than He loves you, just because you are. Thanks so much, and have a great Living at My Best kind of day. Bye-bye.